You ever meet someone who says money isn't everything, but then immediately checks their bank app 14 times a day like it owes them rent? Yeah? Well, let me give you a little wake-up call real quick. If you're between 24 and 40 years old, working hard, feeling responsible, and still nowhere near wealthy, there's a high chance you're accidentally doing things that guarantee you'll never build real money. Not flex rich, not Instagram vacation rich. I'm talking real, boring, stealth, financially unshakable rich. And in today's video, we're breaking down the absolutely dumb signs that scream, I will never become wealthy. And look, this isn't personal, but it might feel like it. Now let's start with the most dangerous one of all. Sign number 1, you think income equals wealth. A few years ago, I realized something that straight up embarrassed me. I used to think making more money meant I was winning. Got a raise? Winning. Picked up overtime? Winning. Side hustle brought in an extra $800. I thought I was leveling up. Well, here's what changed everything for me. Income is noise. Assets are signal. You can make $120,000 a year and still be financially fragile. You can make $65,000 a year and quietly stack assets that compound into 7 figures. Wealth is not what hits your checking account. Wealth is what you own that pays you back. The reason is simple. Income requires you to show up. Assets don't. And if you've been following me for a while, you already know that ownership beats labor every time. And to be honest, most people obsess over raises. The wealthy obsess over return on capital. Most people say, how can I make more? Wealthy people ask, how can I make what I already have multiply? That shift alone changes your entire trajectory. And if you're still stuck measuring your progress by salary instead of net worth, you're sprinting on a treadmill and calling it forward motion. This was a problem I struggled with in the past. So please don't be like me, because chasing income while ignoring asset ownership is like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain open. You feel busy, you feel productive, but you're not building anything permanent. And here's the kicker. The higher your income goes without financial literacy, the faster you inflate your lifestyle. Now your bigger paycheck funds bigger liabilities. Bigger car, bigger rent, bigger, I deserve this. You upgraded your expenses, not your assets. That's the first dumb sign. And the next one, it's even sneakier. Sign number 2, you think investing is too risky. Please listen to me carefully, because I want to give you a golden piece of advice. If you say investing is risky, but spend $600 a month on food delivery and subscriptions, you don't hate risk. You hate delayed gratification. Now, I will explain something very important to you, and unfortunately, many people misunderstand this. Risk is not volatility. Risk is ignorance. The stock market goes up and down. Yes. Real estate has cycles. Yes. Business income fluctuates. Yes. But what's the actual historical trend? Up. Over decades. The S&P 500 has averaged roughly 8 to 10% annual returns long term, even after wars, recessions, pandemics, and financial crises. But you know what's guaranteed? Inflation. Inflation quietly erodes your cash every year. So when you say, I just keep my money in savings because I don't want to lose it, what you're really saying is, I'm okay losing slowly. And by the way, the ability to delay gratification is the superpower that separates the financially free from the financially frustrated. You don't have to gamble. You don't have to day trade. You don't have to buy meme coins at 2 a.m. But if you refuse to learn how money compounds, you're choosing financial stagnation. This is one of the things I mentioned to you in our previous video. Compounding is not flashy. It's boring. It's mechanical. It rewards patience and consistency, which is why most people never stick with it. And if you're still telling yourself, I'll start investing when I make more, you're not afraid of risk. You're addicted to comfort. Now that we've covered fear of investing, let's get back to the most important underlying issue driving it. Because this next sign explains why most people never even begin. Sign number 3, you care more about looking rich than becoming rich. Let me hit you with a cold hard truth bomb again. If your lifestyle is designed to impress strangers, you're not building wealth. You're financing insecurity. Luxury car on a 7-year loan. Designer labels bought on credit. High-rise apartment because vibes. Weekend trips funded by buy now, regret later. Meanwhile, your investment account looks like it's on a diet. This is a rule you need to understand. True wealth is silent. Fake wealth is loud. Wealth whispers. Insecurity screams. And this concept has more details. And we'll dive deeper into it in upcoming videos in our Financial Freedom series, so stay tuned. But anyways, here's the math. If you invest $800 a month at an 8% average return for 25 years, you're looking at over $700,000. If instead you finance a car that eats $800 a month for 7 years, that money disappears. No compounding, no ownership, just depreciation. The car goes down in value, your opportunity cost goes up. And most people will argue with this. They'll say, but you have to enjoy life. Of course you do. But enjoyment doesn't require financial self-sabotage. The wealthy understand status is rented. Assets are owned. And if you're structuring your life around validation instead of net worth growth, you're playing the wrong game. And look, if you want to learn more about developing the stealth wealth mindset, we've created an entire playlist that lets you build generational wealth without anyone noticing. Just make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out our store to never miss a beat. But anyways, now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because the next sign isn't about spending, it's about how you think. Sign number 4, you believe hard work alone makes you rich. This is why I always tell you in my videos, hard work is necessary, but it's not sufficient. You can work 60 hours a week and still be financially average. Why? Because wealth is not built by effort alone. It's built by leverage. A few years ago, I realized the wealthy don't trade time for money. They trade value for scale. There's a difference. You work hard at a job. You get paid once. You build a system. You get paid repeatedly. Business equity, rental income, digital products, investments, intellectual property. These things decouple income from time. And if you think overtime is your wealth strategy, you're optimizing the wrong variable. Let me say this clearly. Working harder in a system that caps your upside does not make you wealthy. Working smarter with ownership does. If you don't shift from labor mindset to leverage mindset, you'll always be capped by hours. And there are only 24 of those. Now that we've covered leverage, let's talk about something even more dangerous, because this next sign quietly destroys your momentum. Sign number 5, you avoid learning about money. Now, I will explain something very important to you, and unfortunately, many adults never admit this. Basically, they're embarrassed to learn about money. They'd rather pretend they understand it. Avoiding money education in 2026 is not neutral. It's self-sabotage. Seriously, we live in a time where you can learn more about investing in one weekend than people learned in 20 years in the 1980s. You have free courses, podcasts, audiobooks, breakdown videos, tax strategy threads. Hell, there are entire communities dedicated to financial literacy. And yet, most adults still say money is confusing. Actually, money is unfamiliar. There's a difference. Here's what changed everything for me. I stopped treating money like a scary subject and started treating it like a skill, because that's what it is. A skill. You wouldn't say, I'm just bad at driving and never learn how to steer. You wouldn't say, I'm just bad at cooking and starve. But people proudly say, I'm just not good with money. That sentence alone is a red flag. And by the way, the ability to learn uncomfortable skills is what separates the middle-class mindset from the wealthy mindset. The wealthy aren't magically smarter. They just refuse to stay ignorant. I swear this was a problem I struggled with in the past. I used to think investing was for finance guys. I thought taxes were something accountants worried about. I thought net worth was a term for celebrities. Meanwhile, my money decisions were being shaped by algorithms and vibes. But here's the dangerous part. When you don't understand money, you default to what feels good instead of what works. You think credit cards are free money. You think 0% financing is a deal. You think keeping cash in a checking account is safe. You think a 401k match is optional. You think compound interest is just a buzzword. It's not. It's the engine. And here's the real crazy part. The system rewards those who understand it. Think about it. Tax advantages, index funds, business deductions, capital gains treatment, employer matches. These aren't secrets. They're just boring. And most people avoid boring. But boring builds wealth. So remember this golden rule for life. If you don't understand how money works, someone who does will profit from you. Banks profit from ignorance. Credit card companies profit from ignorance. Dealerships profit from ignorance. Subscription models profit from ignorance. Wealthy people profit from understanding. That's the difference. So if you want one simple action step from this section, Commit to 20 minutes a day, not 2 hours. Not a finance degree, 20 minutes. Read a chapter, listen to a podcast, study one concept deeply. Do that for a year, and your financial vocabulary alone will shift your confidence. And confidence changes decisions, and decisions change outcomes. Now, here's the transition you need to hear. Because once you start learning about money, something uncomfortable happens. You realize how many emotional decisions you've been making, and that takes us straight into the next sign. Sign number 6. You blame the system for everything. Now look, I get it. We all like to play the blame game when it comes to why we can't get ahead in life. And let's just face the facts. The system is not perfect, but it's not your personal villain either. And yeah, I know blaming the system feels powerful. It feels intelligent. It feels like you've figured it out. But here's the uncomfortable reality. Blame gives you emotional relief. It does not give you financial leverage. Now, I will explain something very important to you. And unfortunately, many people never catch this pattern. There's a difference between recognizing flaws in the system and outsourcing your entire financial responsibility to them. Yes, inflation is real. Yes, taxes exist. Yes, wages haven't kept up with asset growth. All true. But here's the reason this mindset is so dangerous. If you believe the system controls everything, you unconsciously believe you control nothing. And when people feel powerless, they stop building. Seriously, every time I blamed the economy, I delayed improving my skill set. Every time I blamed corporations, I avoided learning about investing. Every time I blamed taxes, I never studied tax strategy. Blame became an excuse to stay comfortable. So here's what changed everything for me. I stopped asking, why is this unfair? And started asking, how do wealthy people operate within this structure? Because whether you like it or not, the wealthy don't wait for the system to change. They learn how it works. They understand tax brackets. They use retirement accounts strategically. They leverage business deductions. They buy appreciating assets. They study interest rates instead of complaining about them. Just remember this golden rule for life. Complaining about the game doesn't make you better at it. Learning the rules does. And here's the irony. The system actually rewards informed behavior. Compound interest rewards long-term investors. Tax codes reward business owners and asset holders. Equity rewards patience. But if you never study it, you assume it's rigged against you, and then you never participate. That's how people lock themselves out of opportunity without even realizing it. By the way, the ability to separate emotion from strategy is a superpower. You can acknowledge flaws in society and still build wealth inside it. Those two things can exist at the same time. Blame keeps you reactive. Ownership makes you proactive. And proactive people accumulate assets. Reactive people accumulate opinions. Now here's the uncomfortable transition, because once you take responsibility, there's nowhere left to hide. No more excuses, no more if only, which leads straight into the next sign. Confusing activity with actual progress. Sign number 7, you confuse activity with progress. If you've been following me for a while, you already know that busyness is not success. You can feel productive all day and still not build wealth. Answering emails, scrolling educational content, researching side hustles for months without starting one, tweaking a logo instead of launching. But here's what makes all the difference. Execution builds assets. Perfectionism builds delays. Wealth rewards momentum, not endless preparation. A $1,000 investment started today beats a perfect strategy started next year. A small business launched imperfectly beats an idea trapped in your notes app. If you're always planning but rarely building, you're not cautious. You're procrastinating, and the market does not reward procrastination. Now that we've covered action, let's get back to something that quietly ruins wealth from the inside. Because this next sign is emotional. Sign number 8. You make financial decisions based on emotion. Please listen to me carefully, because I want to give you a golden piece of advice. Emotion is expensive. Impulse purchases, panic selling investments, FOMO, buying at market peaks, avoiding financial conversations because they're uncomfortable. Wealth requires emotional regulation, not just intelligence. And the reason is simple. Money amplifies behavior. If you're impulsive broke, you'll be impulsive rich, and then you'll be broke again. This is something I swear you need to understand clearly. Build systems that override your emotions. Automatic investing, automatic savings, preset spending rules, decision frameworks. When money decisions rely on mood, your future depends on how you feel that day. That's not a strategy. That's chaos. And speaking of chaos, there's one more sign that seals the deal. Sign number 9, you surround yourself with financially average thinking. I remember a while back I realized one very important concept. Your environment determines your ceiling. If everyone around you hates investing, thinks millionaires are evil, normalizes debt, celebrates consumption, you will subconsciously mirror that. It's not about cutting people off. It's about expanding your circle of influence. Books, podcasts, communities, mentors. Because if the loudest voices in your life mock ambition, you'll shrink your goals to fit in. And that's how people stay average for decades. You don't rise above your environment. You adapt to it. Now that we've covered environment, let's bring this all together. Sign number 10. You never define what rich means to you. Okay, let me hit you with one final truth. If you don't define wealth, you'll chase money endlessly and still feel behind. Is rich $1 million invested? Is it financial independence at 45? Is it passive income covering expenses? Clarity creates direction. Direction creates discipline. And discipline creates wealth. Without definition, you drift. And drifting people don't build financial empires. They build confusion. Now, if you made it this far, let me recap this quickly so I know you clearly understand. If you think income equals wealth, avoid investing, care more about looking rich than being rich, rely on hard work alone, avoid learning about money, blame the system, confuse activity with progress, make emotional decisions, stay in average thinking environments, and never define your wealth target, then yes, you're accidentally designing a life where you'll never become rich. But here's the good news. Every one of these is reversible. And that's why I always tell you in my videos, wealth is not about genius. It's about correction. Small corrections, repeated consistently. If this video clicked for you, comment the words stealth wealth below so I know you're locked in. Let's build something real. In the next video, we're flipping this entire conversation. Instead of dumb signs, you'll never become rich. We're breaking down the exact stealth habits of people who quietly become wealthy without anyone noticing. If you're serious about changing your trajectory, then you must watch the next video. We'll see you over there.